I don't know who you are, but I do know what you need. I can tell you, I know some gentlemen with a very particular set of skills. Skills they have attained over a long career of studying tape and statistics. Skills they want to share to make you a nightmare for the rest of your league. Head over to www.ultimatedraftkit.com and order it right now. You will be prepared for your draft. Your league will be frightened of you. And you will kill them.
The Fantasy Footballer Studio is sponsored by Walmart. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. The Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Jason Moore is here.
Howdy.
Mike Wright in the building.
Hello.
I'm Andy Holloway. It's a mock draft episode. It's going to be a good one.
Maka-laka ding-dong.
Maka-laka ding-dong.
And it's going to be fun. Today we are going to do it a little differently than the last few mocks. We're actually going to share a team today. It'll give us...
like the good old days.
Yeah, it'll give us some more time to talk about the pick and fight about the pick and make some decisions about building our team. The rest of the spots will be filled up by staff and support of the fantasy footballers, and we'll see if we can have ourselves a successful mock draft. You guys looking forward to taking on the crew once again? I know they live to defeat us.
They live to try.
Yes.
But they're going to need to be a cat. We're taking out them lives. See, cats have 9 lives.
Oh, no, I know, but it's because we're going to kill them 10 times?
Well, according to that intro, we will kill them.
Okay.
Yeah, so a mock draft today. We have a UDK for Life giveaway happening right now. Jamar Chase signed jersey as well. Pick up the UDK by Monday. We'll do a live stream event. We'll give away an Ultimate Draft Kit for Life, as well as that signed jersey, ultimatedraftkit.com. Also very excited to announce our charity partnership for 2025. So every year we've done this, we are donating a portion of all revenues generated by the Ultimate Draft Kit. This year our partnership is with the Koenig Childhood Cancer Foundation.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful foundation. They provide life-saving financial and emotional support to children battling cancer. So like I said, a portion of this year's sales for the UDK goes directly to KCCF, and you can learn more about that and more about them at ultimatedraftkit.com. You'll see the note on there, and it'll give you some more information about that partner. So we're very excited about that, and we appreciate everybody every year that has supported this show as we work to support a variety of different childhood cancer charities and foundations. What else is going on? You can follow the show over on X at the FF Ballers. You can watch it. It's a good episode to go tune in on YouTube because we'll have the draft board up for the mock draft, youtube.com/thefantasyfootballers. We are also doing a mini series that we're releasing an episode of every Saturday. So we went real quick from like 2 shows a week to 3 to like 5 to now like 6. 7 if you've got the Footcast. So no shortage of fantasy football content for the fantasy football addicts out there.
Sorry, I'm being a little quiet. I'm adjusting my Travion Henderson rankings.
Mike is in a good place.
Is this from
with
practice
Travion
today?
Henderson?
He can't stop, guys.
Well,
I refer to yesterday's top 10 tips and tricks.
Yes.
Don't let the preseason videos overdo it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to everybody here with the ADP. The ADP, let's hold off.
Yeah.
It's not helpful for Mike and the revenues of the pants store to I'm never going back to the pants store. Let's just say like
pants sales are cratering.
Yeah, Mike is not buying pants right now. Travion Henderson, it's the big play stuff. I mean, we talked about Amir Abdullah in the preseason. It could be one of those. But Ramondre is banged up right now.
Yeah.
So
That's not going to help the ADP.
No. He may go 1 overall very soon. At least Mike will have to decide between CMC and Travion with pick number 1. But we got more news to talk about.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Actually, Brooksy jumping in with some breaking news. A slight update on the Ramondre Stevenson injury. Mike Vrabel did note Wednesday that the unspecified injury, because that's what we had heard, he had missed a couple of practices. It's not specified. It's unspecified. He said it's not considered significant.
Okay. So it's unspecified and insignificant. It's the time of year where you can do these things, and we have no idea.
No, and then in the meantime, with the time afforded on the field, Travion Henderson is catching 70-yard wheel route passes in multi-team
joint
practices. They did not cover him. I will say that.
I was going to say I don't. It was great. He caught the ball and ran 70 yards, but also the defense forgot he existed.
That's what happens on sneaky wheel routes.
I saw a high school clip the other day of one of the kids coming in off the sideline. So they only had 10 on the field. Everyone lines up. He takes 2 steps onto the field from the sideline.
Before the snap,
and no one covered him, and he's just all by himself on the side. That's legal, right?
That seems a little dirty.
That seems real high school.
If you're not on, like if they're lined up.
He just took like one step out. Yeah. They were all lined up. I mean, you want your 11 on the field.
Yeah, but like NFL wise, like, I mean, if you make a substitution,
right,
they hold the ball.
Yeah,
so
that wouldn't be allowed, right?
Not in the NFL.
I feel like that's happened in the NFL, though, hasn't it? Oh, no. What happens in the NFL is they break the huddle. One guy looks like he's trying to get off the field.
Yeah, and they go have
right before.
He stops right
and
before.
You have an argument with the coach, like you're pretending you're really walking off the field. And then Johnny Manziel runs a 9 route.
There you go. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle both returned to practice on Wednesday. McDaniel said Hill is being monitored so we can protect him against himself.
Okay. Stop hitting yourself.
It's not like that's not an ankle monitor, right?
I kind of like that. I'm sad.
Mike Gesicki hamstring injury. So he sustained it on August 2nd. Still rehabbing. Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt, a quad contusion. And then Justin Jefferson with the hamstring. It's a close one to monitor, definitely progressing, but not practicing this week. So they're going to play that as slow as they can. They need him for the regular season.
Yeah, they should. He's good. He does not need to practice.
Correct.
He's very good at football.
And Mike, I'm going to turn to you for this very important Matthew Stafford-related update. Do we have any more news on Matthew Stafford?
The news is
he practicing?
I'm not really sure.
It says no Matthew Stafford.
I don't know what's going on here, man. We got the tweet was no Matt Stafford as Rams go about their job. Talking about yesterday, and dude, it's getting very, very scary.
So yeah,
for all Rams related players, not just for Matthew Stafford.
We are recording the show a little bit early.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, if any news updates come through, that is why. This is the last bit of information that we have. But, yeah, Jefferson, if you get back to him real quick, if you have to draft today, which is happening, right? Like I went and got a haircut yesterday. A person I met in there, they just did their draft. They just did it. So there are drafts happening from now until kickoff. Is the Jefferson news, is the neighbors news, either of those situations dissuading you at all based on your projections for those players if you're coming down to that pick?
Not really. I mean, the truth is where Jefferson is being picked, I'm usually going to take one of the top 3 running backs. Right now where Neighbors is being picked, I've got Neighbors and Nico Collins. They're in the same tier to me. I don't see
is
the
Puka
range
in that tier?
Yeah, Puka's in that tier. I don't see the range being that different on any of those guys, in which case, if push comes to shove and I have to draft right now, I'd be fine taking Nico.
And you
over
are
Jefferson.
No, over Malik Neighbors.
Oh, I got
But you are Lamb over Jefferson right now.
I am Lamb. Sure, yeah.
What about Amon-Ra and Jefferson? Is this hamstring injury enough to make you worried about that? I don't think it is for me.
It's not for me.
Not for me either. The Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, there's a little break there.
All right, that was today's news and notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Well, we're going to jump right in. No further ado.
The Fantasy Footballers Mock Draft.
All right, like I said, we got the full crew in there today, so we'll be competing with footballer staff, writers, and it is a 10-team half PPR mock today. One team for the three of us. We're sharing it, so we'll get to
Fight.
Yeah, we'll get to figure out where
We negotiate.
we talk about, maybe we'll hand the picks over, maybe we'll make them together. We'll see how it goes. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 4 bench spots. We ended up with the randomly selected spot number 4 overall. And so let's kick this thing off. We've got Jamar Chase off the board with the number 1 pick. Jake goes with Jamar. Not a surprise there. Brooksy comes in with Saquon with the number 2 overall pick.
Okay.
Putting Bijan Robinson at the 103 to the Falcon himself. Not on a bathroom break right now. Actually here participating. Well, let's double check that. Nope, he is here.
Okay.
And he probably didn't flush that pick down the toilet. So Bijan should be good. Here we are, staring down Justin Jefferson and company at the number 4 overall spot. Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb.
The RB1 on the board.
You got Christian McCaffrey that Mike is trying to talk about.
I was
I'm
literally looking, and I was like, "Wait, the RB1? Who did I miss?"
I'm not going to fight for him here, but that's what I would do.
We and the people know this about you, and they probably are trusting us to make a different decision.
Genuinely, you're on the clock. This is just your team, and let's say it's not a mock draft. You're not doing this to try. Like, do you believe that right now in a live startup redraft league, you would be pulling the trigger on Christian McCaffrey here over Justin Jefferson, over Jahmyr Gibbs, Henry, CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, the 3 that went, those are the ones where, like, I have McCaffrey number 1, but I get it with the risk. I don't mind going Robinson over McCaffrey, or if I have the 1, I take Jamar at number 1. So those guys, they push McCaffrey. I'm willing to.
So those
push McCaffrey
3
down.
names that just went,
Yes,
all of those you would be willing to push McCaffrey down for.
Yeah, I'm
but they're all
okay
gone.
with it. But
What's your pick, Jay? Like, what would your vote be here? And we'll come up to a conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slight drop off, I think. I mean, personally, I have CeeDee Lamb over Justin Jefferson. So if you're between those two, my rankings would take him. You add in the hamstring, and
But this is over Gibbs?
yeah,
Would you take him over Gibbs here in a half?
for me, I would take him over Gibbs. I like. I've got Henry 1 spot ahead of Gibbs, so I think my rankings at the very
You've got
top
McCaffrey ahead of Gibbs.
are a little bit different than your two.
yes, you do.
So we have no agreement.
We have no agreement. So who would you take at the 4th
I would take
spot?
Gibbs here. That's what I would do. I would take Gibbs at the 104.
We're off to a tough start, guys.
So
Gibbs is my 4th ranked running
why don't
back.
I have my own team? Whose idea was this?
I believe it was yours.
So
Gibbs.
I'm fine with McCaffrey.
Oh, whoa!
I would rather take. I'll put it this way. I want Gibbs, right? I would take Gibbs.
We could take Gibbs.
But I would rather have McCaffrey than going wide receiver.
Then take Gibbs. We'll see what the team looks
Is
like.
that what you okay with that, Jay?
Yeah, I am totally fine with that. I think it's an appropriate spot
I mean,
right
he wants
here.
McCaffrey. You have McCaffrey ahead of Gibbs. I don't want to stand in your way.
I've got McCaffrey ahead of Gibbs if you're just talking about, season long stat totals, but that doesn't factor in
fantasy points.
No, but that doesn't factor in risk. Like the risk rating
of
Jahmyr Gibbs versus the risk rating of Christian McCaffrey are not equal.
That is why we include those rankings in our tier-based rankings in the UDK, is because your decision is going to be philosophical. How do you build your team? What kind of risk do you want to take on? Obviously, Gibbs was, he was very, very good. We went Gibbs because Mike told me I could. CeeDee Lamb goes next, and Justin Jefferson, McCaffrey at the 107 to Matthew Betts. So Mike shook his head a little bit.
No, I was shaking my head at. We gave pick 5 and 6. You had every opportunity to get the RB1 and you passed. That's dumb.
Derrick Henry at 108.
We got my guys tomorrow.
To Julia.
Yeah, we do.
He better be a my guy for you, Mike.
Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah,
You'll have to stay
I
tuned.
guess.
Derrick Henry at 108. Amon-Ra St. Brown to Kyle at 109. Malik Neighbors makes it into the first round of a 10-team with the 110. And then Ashton Genty. Unsurprisingly to Papa Josh, with the first pick of the second round, he's got Genty on the dynasty team, and him and the Falcon, they spend every other minute just oodling their own team.
Yes, they do.
Devon Achane at the 202, Nico at the 203, Puka, Josh Jacobs, and Brock Bowers off the board in the second round. Now, Mike, in
It's
a 10 team.
Yeah, it's a 10-teamer.
Talk about that.
In a 10-team, on yesterday's tips and tricks, one of Jason's was don't take 2 onesies, in the first few rounds. And like generally I do agree upon that. But in a 10-teamer, your supply and demand for wide receivers and running backs changes. Wait, we took Chase Brown? We didn't even talk about it.
Wait, what happened?
What a great pick we just did.
I didn't mean to.
Wait,
No, we're leaving.
why would we have taken Chase Brown
Leave
there?
him on the team because he's awesome.
Did you just accidentally click Chase Brown and draft him?
trying to add him to the queue.
He did the wrong button again.
I did the wrong button
Unbelievable.
again.
Jameson Williams
You
again.
do this so much. Like, you do
I'm
sleeper
hosting
drafts.
the show.
But
I
you-
was talking.
I know that's why I didn't want to do anything. I'm just trying to put him in order so I can
You
think.
can't use hosting as an excuse for not understanding which buttons you can click while not talking. All you had to do was hit the Q button instead of the draft button. But I guess we've moved on.
Okay.
Goodness
Hold on.
gracious.
So in a 10-teamer, the onesie positions
why
are
don't I have my own team?
the onesie positions are really where you can make up some ground. 10-team at the end, everybody's team is going to look awesome unless you have just botched your draft because there's more
By
running backs.
accidentally drafting players.
Don't draft another one.
Yeah, don't add anyone to the queue, Andy. Just
You guys are
write
in
them
charge.
down. You got a
You're
little
in charge
book-
of clicking the button.
Yeah.
The RBs and wide receivers, the supply is higher. So tight, especially elite tight ends, move up. Like if you want to take Brock Bowers at the end of the first or in the early second, that's fine with me.
Let me
in a
piggyback that
10-teamer.
real quick, because what I was going to do before I drafted Chase Brown inadvertently, but to our advantage, was I was going to talk about our opportunity to draft Trey McBride, because you just talked about it. You have a positional advantage in a 10-team. McBride was available to us. We all decided to go Chase Brown,
Yes.
at which point Brian Thomas Jr. went next, London and Irving, Chuba, Kyron, and A.J. Brown. We're back on the clock. Trey McBride's still there, but there are other players that you guys can go ahead and add to the queue.
Yeah, I will say that the
Who
players
would you have picked
I would
over
have
Chase Brown?
definitely, without a doubt, taken either Brian Thomas or Drake London. Having started with Gibbs, we could go more of a hero RB, and Brian Thomas and Drake London to me represent the end of those top 10 wide receivers that I
do
really
agree with that.
really want one. So now it's
Yeah,
like
I totally agree.
I would have gone wide receiver there, but now when you're looking at who's left, and it's Lad McConkey and Jackson Smith and Jig, but it's like I don't
you got
view
T.
those
Higgins,
guys.
Meet Higgins available,
I
Garrett
love-
Wilson,
I
Marvin.
don't. Do you want to Chase Brown and meet Higgins though?
No, I don't. My point is
Did
these
you
wide
say add
receivers.
T. Higgins to the queue? Is that what you said?
My point is these wide receivers who are the next best available are a tier down from Drake London and Brian Thomas.
I totally agree. So
Do you view Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, and Chuba in the same tier as Chase Brown?
I
Because
personally,
I'm
I
just
think
curious-
Kyron Williams and Chase Brown are in the same tier if Stafford's playing. Kyron scares every Ram right now. Scares the tar out of me.
I'm just saying, like, if you look at it from the other perspective, was there a different tier break there between Bucky and Chase Brown? I don't know. I know Chase Brown, Jason, you're completely convinced he'll be a dominant
I am.
player.
This is not an anti-Chase Brown take.
So are you
at
saying
all.
you'd go Trey McBride here and we'd try to ride
Yeah, at this point,
value at wide
I
receiver?
would not have gone Trey McBride over those other two wide receivers that I viewed as still elite. But with the tier break, with Chase Brown and Kyron being gone, with Brian Thomas and Drake London being gone, us in the third round, it's a 10-team league. Personally, I think that's where you go Trey
So
McBride.
I would look at the running backs real quick. So on the board,
You know I love me some Johnny Tay.
yeah, Johnny Tay.
Johnny Taylor.
I
I just kind of trailed off.
thought you were
Yeah.
trying something new. Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Omarion Hampton. Those guys are all still there. So like Hampton with this build is interesting. I would be looking at Hampton or McBride.
I think because we've got Gibbs and Brown, and you can make the argument because we've got them, we can take the rookie, and if he gets off to a slow start. But right now, Najee can't even jog without hurting his eye. So personally, I think with the
McBride?
two, I would lean McBride.
Okay.
Something in me says you guys should make the pick.
I got it.
Okay.
All right, Trey McBride off the board at 304. Again,
Flawless, Jason.
I still think Trey McBride was a fair decision to make in the second round
I
of
agree.
of a 10-team league.
I do agree.
Luckily, I didn't let us make that mistake, and we got him in the third. Really crafty by me, if I'm honest.
I will say that if we were going to end up with McBride, this was the route to do it.
Yeah.
Because we would have ended up with, I would rather have Chase Brown and Trey McBride than Trey McBride and Jonathan Taylor.
I can't believe I did it again. Trey McBride in the third round, Jonathan
Both of us
Taylor,
can.
Amari and Hampton in the third,
I
McConkey,
can
Higgins,
totally believe it.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson.
I don't even think it's the last time this episode. I'm going to be
probably-
honest. I think there's a 40% chance it happens again. Unless he keeps saying, like, okay, you guys push the button. He has no clue.
you notice
he has
my-
no clue
Yeah.
which one.
He's
My
hands
hands
off.
have been off the board.
Sleeper, can you add some tool tips? I know, like, just some
Look,
mouse over.
Let me just be no. I thank you for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
There's no world where plus should be how you draft.
No?
Like,
No.
add.
Like add?
No,
Add to team?
no, because we're not running like a free agent bin.
But you
A
think
draft-
piece of paper should be
Piece
that
of
means
paper,
draft.
Piece of paper should not be draft. Plus should be Q,
So like,
and a new graphic should be draft.
The
That's
pa-
what I'm going to board.
because
to
to me,
board
the
with.
paper is like, make a note.
Right. Add them to your list
Yeah.
on this piece of paper.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't know. Looks
Now that does
pretty-
make sense when
pretty
you explain it like
self-explanatory to
that.
me.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with the rest of the with the rest of the draft. I during the break we all discussed it and totally agreed with me that plus was confusing and I'm really smart. All right, Jonathan Taylor after our McBride pick, Hampton, McConkey, Higgins, Garrett Wilson, and JSN. Big wide receiver run at the end of the third round. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the wide receivers coming off the board. Newly minted James Cook at the 401. Not a problem there. Ahead of Connor. I moved him ahead of Connor recently. Marvin Harrison at the 402. James Conner at the 403. George Kittle off the board with the fourth pick of the fourth round. Mike Evans, Kenneth Walker off the board. And do you feel a little backed into that wide receiver position here in the fourth
little
round?
bit.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. I wish we had Brian Thomas Jr. or Drake London in that second round. Yeah. So of the wide receivers
Don't
that
even worry about it.
Well, Tyreek Hill's back at practice. He's on the board. Like his ADP right now is significantly higher than where we are. Like he's been passed in a bunch of our mock drafts for the same tentativeness, but he's healthy. He's back at practice. He's on the board. Terry McLaurin, not been paid yet. He's on the board. Adams, you talked about being scared out of your mind with Stafford. That seems like the worst place to go for our first wide receiver when you have some trepidation there.
Yeah, the wide receiver one territory, according to my personal rankings, and I don't know that your guys' are anything like this, but mine go DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, as far as the players that are available. But I do think that there are types of players.
Did you
that
say DJ Moore at the top?
I did say DJ Moore at the top,
Oh,
but if you
he's
were to compare
not for me.
DJ Moore,
I don't want him to be my wide receiver.
that's where I was getting. Is like he is ahead of DK Metcalf. But I don't think he is a consistent player. I don't think he is necessarily guaranteed to be even the number one for his team. Whereas DK Metcalf profiles, I mean, we know he's the number one wide receiver for his team. There's no other option on that roster.
What would your pick be, Mike? I know that Jason and I are a little higher on DK Metcalf. I would be totally fine with taking the shot on Tyreek Hill here. I'm also okay going a slightly maybe safer route with, you could go Devontae Smith if you wanted to. You could swing for the fences with Tedero McMillan in the fourth.
Sure. I would be going with Tyreek Hill. It's not a comfortable spot to have him as your wide receiver one, but you have to factor in we have Trey McBride, so we have that positional advantage. And with it being 10 team, I think you can kind of swing right there on Tyreek of what if he comes back and he's a top 5 wide receiver? You can make up some of your depth and, like where, guys like Metcalf and Sutton, they're good players, but if they hit their ceiling, they're not hitting a Tyreek Hill ceiling. Meanwhile, we can find some pieces that maybe can fill it out.
I'm super excited. Right
I agree, and I
we
love
took Tyreek Hill. Travion went next, probably just to get some airtime. The Falcon wants to get Travion. Oh, no, he likes him. That's why.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, Josh Allen. So first quarterback off the board. Terry McLaurin.
In the 5th round in a 10 team. That's really good.
Yeah, and then Lamar Jackson off the board. We're back on the clock. I was actually rooting for Cortland Sutton to make it to this pick because I feel like Sutton is an actual borderline wide receiver 1, but Metcalf didn't go.
Yeah, Metcalf is still there. To me, he is significantly ahead in my rankings as a wide receiver 2. Like if this was my team, I would have taken DK Metcalf over Tyreek Hill. But if you do that, Tyreek does not make it back, and DK did. So to me, considering we missed out on those 2nd round wide receivers because of your brilliant Chase Brown pick,
super smart.
Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf in the 4th and 5th are great to pair with Gibbs, Chase Brown, and Trey McBride. I like the way the roster's turning out.
Would you have gone? I mean, I'll take Metcalf. Jason seems strong there, and I'll go with that. But
you hit the right button.
I did. It's the plus means draft, and the little teeny paper means
list.
Yeah, got it.
I would.
Would you have gone Sutton over Metcalf?
I would have gone Sutton over Metcalf, and I would have gone Tedoroa McMillan with that pick over both DK and Sutton.
Yeah, I would have been really comfortable there too.
But Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf, I mean, if there's any age requirements for our wide receivers to get in, we have met those requirements.
So
they're not going to be ID'd.
No.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown, the running backs, Trey McBride at tight end, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, the wide receivers. If you look at I guess we're calling it the mistake.
Not to me.
And you say that's Brian Thomas Jr. instead of Chase Brown. That means our 3rd round is Jonathan Taylor instead of you don't get McBride. So how do you feel how it played out? Would you still have preferred Brian Thomas with the wide receivers we ended up with, moving from Chase Brown to Jonathan Taylor? I have my Taylor concerns. You're the most bullish.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on Taylor. I would love to have Taylor, but getting McBride while we have 2 great running backs and 2 very good wide receivers, I think it's worked out. It probably is even better than had we taken one of those, because Metcalf, to me, I see Metcalf, he's my wide receiver 17, and he's your wide receiver 14. Getting that in the 5th round solidifies a roster. So I like it right now.
We're really balanced. After Metcalf went McMillan, and then Jamison Williams, who also would have been in consideration for me if it was just my pick. Jaden Daniels, Kamara, Hurts, and Sutton rounding out the 5th round in our 10-team mock. We've got Devontae Smith with the first pick of the 6th round. That is a great value to me. Again, 10-team league, but that's nice. Breece Hall at 602, begrudgingly selected.
6th round is
6th round's
perfectly
great.
fine.
Joe Burrow.
5th round's fine too.
George Pickens off the board. Xavier Worthy off the board. Jalen Waddle. Our team, 2 running backs, 2 wideouts, and a tight end so far. We're back on the clock. Certainly wasn't going to be tempted by Waddle with Tyreek already on this team. You've got wide receiver options, another rookie in Travis Hunter, who's been moving up the board. A player I think is highly undervalued right now in Calvin Ridley. The rapport with, on that team, it's great right now with Cam Ward. You have running back options. Joe Mixon's falling in drafts right now with the ambiguity around his situation. RJ Harvey is sitting there.
I mean, you literally just named the names that I'm.
Oh, those are the ones you wrote down?
Those are absolutely those 4 are the names that are the most appealing to me. So, and specifically, in my opinion, it's Travis Hunter versus Joe Mixon, and they're as kind of opposite as do you want the currently injured, super old guy, but who is a stalwart workhorse on a good offense, who was awesome last year, and should he get it together, talk about solidifying a roster, or the high upside, unproven, have no idea how many snaps he's playing on offense, but one of the most elite athletes in the NFL already, the number 2 pick in Travis Hunter.
That will be about a round after McMillan. They're going pretty close in mocks. Here's what we'll do, though, is we have a short turn to our next pick. So you're talking about a running back versus a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you believe right now more depth is in this draft? Because it can be less about those 2 facing off and more about, hey, what's the best available player on the board in the 7th round with the way our team is balanced right now? I see, Mixon, Montgomery, Harvey. Then I feel like it's sort of a teardrop at that point at running back. Maybe you could put Pacheco in there. Kareem Hunt's banged up. Pacheco's had the number 1 spot. A wide receiver, I don't feel as cozy with the depth beyond Hunter and maybe Ridley.
I would agree with that. Now Ridley is not beloved by everybody. He could very easily come back to us in the 7th, but then everyone we're drafting with is listening to us right now.
Andy, I thought you were more in on Judy. Am I mistaken?
Judy has I've kind of softened a little bit.
Okay.
I'll feel pretty decent with the hard part there is it's just like I like Njoku as the biggest beneficiary from Joe Flacco. Judy had that explosive small period of time with Jameis Winston, but Tillman is back and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Johnson's involved. So I just think there's a little bit more room for Judy to be
disappointing
than I had probably a month ago.
Okay.
I think we need to balance out. Like Gibbs and Chase Brown are awesome. Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf are good, but they don't need to be carded. And I think we should get a wide receiver that if he was going to go grab a 6-pack might be carded and some youthful upside.
I see what you mean.
In Travis Hunter.
You want to get carded.
Bring our average wide receiver age down. And I would agree with you. I don't like the depth at wide receiver as much as I do.
I'm good with Travis Hunter.
All right, let's get that off the board. Let the guys take our analysis and then take the players right behind us, which is one of the fun parts about drafting live to everybody. So we'll take Travis Hunter. So we went the 3 wide. I think that's good logic there with, even with Tyreek Hill having a little bit of an injury management situation in this offseason and Metcalf on a new team. After we took Hunter, Joe Mixon did go next, as you might expect. Zay Flowers off the board. I feel like the Zay Flowers world right now is just totally apathetic. It's like
it very much
you take him because you got to, but nobody's like into it. And this is an explosive player.
He's gonna be fine.
He's had great fantasy success in different periods of time.
So Zay Flowers, let me just go confirm something real quick, because you've heard me talk about my ADP study with where I'm a little concerned about JSN, how high he's being drafted.
Yeah.
And that ADP study is essentially players that break out in year 2, then where they are drafted the following year, do they return the points that they are being drafted for, their ADP expectation? And it's actually a lower hit rate than a lot of other things, especially compared to what you'd think, where like a year 2 guy, this guy should be on a rocket ship. He's going to be fantastic. But that's the problem is they get on an ADP rocket ship and go up, and they return value about half the time. Zay Flowers is in that scenario as well, where he finished as a top 24 for the first time as a year 2 guy, but his ADP is not being steamed up. So if you're talking about returning value, I think he is the better bet over JSN, but can he actually make a jump into like into a top 15 type of a player? It's not impossible, but it seems hard. It seems unlikely.
Yeah, look, we took Hunter. Mixon went next, then Flowers. We just talked about him. Montgomery, Egbuka. Aaron Jones goes. My tier of those next, the best running backs left on the board were Mixon, Montgomery, and R.J. Harvey. Calvin Ridley did go at the 703. The Falcon will not be invited to future drafts. We just went 3 straight wide receivers. R.J. Harvey's still on the board.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about him for a second, just in the fact that, like, I just recently saw Kay Adams' interview with Sean Payton. She kind of joked about him being 5th on the depth chart because that's kind of like a posturing thing. Also talked about that joker role, and Payton defined what a joker is to him.
Everyone on his team.
It is everyone on the team. No, he said any running back and tight end that have extra special wide receiver skills.
Mm-hmm.
So those 2 positions they don't always catch the ball, but
so it can't be Evan Ingram.
He said Evan Ingram was his established joker.
Mm-hmm. Old.
He also said previous jokers would have been like Darren Sproles, right? Somebody that had extra
Did he mention
special.
Graham? He better have.
I didn't see
Okay.
Graham, but
if you didn't, shame on you.
yeah, I mean Graham certainly was. But then they bring up R.J. Harvey. Is he a joker? And he kind of said, well, he's got those skills. He doesn't have his joker wings yet. That was the way he put it.
His wings? A joker doesn't have wings, man.
Look, he's crossing metaphors.
His cap.
Look,
I didn't spend any time thinking about that, guys.
yeah,
It is just the Joker cap.
It's just the joker cap. But that's what he said.
But R.J. Harvey should probably be our pick.
So we want to.
Seems like we're all in agreement.
Okay, we're all good
I would
there?
just Just I would peak at quarterback.
I peaked last round.
I did.
Okay.
Well, and then I unpeaked.
for the listeners at home, the big we'll call them the big five went Allen, Lamar, Daniels, Hurts, Burrow. They're already gone. So it's like Mahomes, ADP wise, it's Mahomes, Baker, Bo, Kyler. So I agree. I'm not.
There's 5
You don't
teams-
need to jump in right now.
There's 5 teams left in this league who don't have a quarterback. And there are more than 5 quarterbacks that I would be just fine having. So I don't know. Once you're past that big 5, I'm not sure I care much
just
to
gonna
start
wait
the next
forever.
round. Exactly. I'd wait forever. Whether it's if you're telling me it's Baker, great. If you're telling me it's Bo Nix, great. Kyler, okay. Dak, fine. I mean, there's too many guys here for us to pull the trigger early instead of continuing to load up depth where we need it.
So we did go with R.J. Harvey. So our running backs, Gibbs, Chase Brown, R.J. Harvey. Our wideouts, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Travis Hunter, with Trey McBride as that guaranteed production at one of the onesie spots. We have 4 picks left.
Stupid owl.
And
what did he do?
He took Caleb Johnson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw you had added him to our queue.
Yeah.
Which I'm impressed that you know how to add players to the queue.
Yeah, it's just
very
it's the
complicated.
piece of paper icon.
It's the one that looks like add to list.
Right. Yeah, I mean, personally, I've got Caleb Johnson ahead of R.J. Harvey.
There's also a star you could just click, man.
But I would love to.
There's a lot going on, man.
Just
There's
don't
a lot.
click the plus. Just don't click the
We're doing
add
it
button
live.
to the team.
All right, we'll take a break real quick. I just gave you the rundown, and then we'll talk about the picks after Harvey coming into our 8th round right after this. Foot Clan draft day is on the way. You got your rankings, you got those sleepers, you got your can't miss picks, but you know what? You need sometimes a backup because, well, even the best fantasy football team in the world doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes those starters, they don't show up. Wouldn't it be great if you could have the same peace of mind everywhere else? With Progressive, you get more than just a policy. You get a playbook full of coverage options you can count on for your home and for your auto. Want to customize your protection? No problem. You can build your coverage just like your fantasy team, making sure that you have the right players in every position and a backup when you need it most. And when life throws an audible like a fumble in the driveway or a hailstorm at home, Progressive is there with 24/7 support. Don't get caught without a great backup. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. All right, Gibbs, Chase Brown, and R.J. Harvey at running back. Hill, Metcalf, Hunter at wideout. Trey McBride's our tight end. After we took Harvey, it was kind of the beginning of a little bit of a running back run. So you always feel good if you're at the top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Swift, Caleb Johnson, and Pollard, right? Pollard being maybe
I like Pollard.
a great value right now with Tajay Spears' injury. Stephon Diggs, seen more highlights in camp with Drake May. Diggs off the board at 708. Pacheco at 709. So 4 out of 5 running backs in a row. And then Laporta, the next tight end to drop. 10th pick of the 7th round. Brian Robinson Jr. to start the 8th round. Olave, Pearsall, and Rashee Rice finally off the board.
How do you guys feel about that? So the 804 for Rice in a 10-teamer.
Well, let's just say it's 6 games.
Right.
If it's 6 games, he's not going to be IR eligible. We are not in a double flex. We're not in a 3 wide. You can probably make that pick and feel like the upside's there.
I'm
like,
okay with it.
Yeah, I really like it there. I mean, if you look at the team that drafted him, he's got Puka, Lad McConkey, and George Pickens already. So you don't need you can hold off. You can wait for Rice to be available, and then you might end up with a top 10 wide receiver for the stretch run.
Do you feel similarly about Jordan Addison in this round, where he's got a 3-game suspension? We know it. He was a highly productive player last year.
I don't feel that way because there's the difference here is that you have a hope and a path. Like when Rice was there, I think he was the wide receiver 3 through those first 3 weeks. You have a hope that he is a superstar, that he is going to be the number 1 target, the 1,500 yards, 8 to 10 touchdowns with Patrick Mahomes. As far as the pace, obviously he won't do that if he misses 6 games. I don't think you have that hope with Jordan Addison. You're just getting a solid wide receiver 2. Waiting games for a solid wide receiver 2 aren't necessarily worth it when you could just draft someone who could be a wide receiver 2, solid wide receiver 2 that plays week 1.
That's good logic. Rashi Rice was the 804. Mahomes went next.
Got that Mahomes worthy stack.
That's true. Yeah, and that was the next quarterback off the board since the 6th round. Judy finally goes off the board at 806. We're back on the clock. If you look at quarterback, Baker's there, Nix, Kyler, Purdy, Dak.
There's only one team in between us and our next pick without a quarterback.
Yeah, so I don't think there's one name that we'd be okay with. Only, if we ended up with Bo Nix, we'd have him with Harvey at some point down the line. So I feel fine waiting there, I assume.
Yeah.
At running back, it doesn't look great. Tyrone Tracy will be the starter. He's available. Jalen Warren will have a big role.
I'm going to say the name that I'm sure we won't draft as a collective team, but I do think
You're talking about Jacksonville's RB2?
I'm talking about Jacksonville's RB1, their primary pass
like
catcher.
today in practice or tomorrow?
I think Travis Etienne is being too overblown as dust. I don't think he is, and I know I stand alone here. And I'm not sitting here saying
No, you don't stand
Travis
alone.
Etienne is a top 15.
You stand there with last year right in front of you, and you still believe in him.
Yeah, I do. I think that this is a player who
They didn't
could
even have
very,
They didn't even have Tootin last year.
He could very easily get 70 targets at the running back position.
Do you like that route, having Travis Hunter 2 picks ago?
I don't think he's even saying draft Travis
I'm not
Etienne
saying
here.
I would draft him. He's just
He's
named.
just defending his honor.
Right. I mean, if it's my pick, this is Roma Dunze here. That would be who I would go with personally.
Okay,
I'm fine with the Dunze. I'm fine with a shot on another rookie in Matthew Golden, who, Dobbs is banged up and Jaden Reed's banged up.
Everyone in the Packers
people have not talked enough about Golden might have more of an opportunity to be a big time contributor early, just with some of these other players. I mean, Wicks can't catch.
Yep.
Reed's not available. And Dobbs is banged up and Watson's out.
Yeah, and when Reed comes back, he's not an outside wide receiver. It seems like Matthew Golden is starting week 1 as an outside wide receiver. I've risen a lot on him. He was not my favorite prospect coming into the NFL draft. I thought it was outrageous to take him in the first round of the NFL draft just as a talent. His production profile is not that good. But when you look at the investment that a team did make in him, and then the opportunity that he has to be on the field, add that to a quality offense and a good quarterback, there's a lot of, I'm not going to get stuck up on my, prospect scouting and say I didn't love the guy, so I can't see how he could score a ton of fantasy points.
So would you go Dunze, though, who, again, another practice report today, the red zone guy for Caleb Williams. Would you go Odunze over Golden, Mike? Do you believe in a bigger breakout potential for Odunze than Golden?
I don't. It's this pick. I think we go wide receiver here.
I think
between
so too.
Rome, Matthew Golden, and Josh Downs, though, I think it is an extremely difficult.
I would agree.
Selection.
That's team
an ADP.
makeup. That's team makeup. So
that might be an ADP gamble too, with just if you go Odunze here and we come back and we want to take Golden with the next pick, or we take,
you got to know your league, and I think in this one,
the one where we're telling everybody what we want to do.
Yeah, that one. But also the ADP is, we're in the 8th. ADP's out the window.
So what would your vote be? My vote would be a slight Odunze lean over Golden.
That would be mine as well.
That's fine.
All right, so we'll take Odunze, add him to the stable of wide receivers that we've got as we try to piece this thing together. Addison does go next. So the 2 suspended guys going in the 8th round of a 10 team here. Kelsey off the board, another tight end. Matthew Golden, of course. Now, see, here's the real problem.
What's that?
I know for a fact that so Jake took Matthew Golden.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's going to be Golden.
There's no chance he takes Matthew Golden
Zero
in
chance.
any draft under the sun.
I also don't think
this
Matt
is the biggest
takes Josh
Bears,
Downs.
This is the biggest Bears fan on the planet.
Well,
he does not want to watch
from him.
Matthew Golden whatsoever. Now, yes, that is probably Odunze payback, but that's also he should be muting the TV out in the lobby where he's drafting. So Matthew Golden off the board, Tyler Warren. I love that pick here. I was going to bring up Warren with our next pick just for the thought exercise of
don't hate it.
If you're super late in the draft, you got a huge upside tight end. It's a position of power, and it's could you flex this dude on a certain week if you needed to? Just have the conversation.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible idea. Now, in this league specifically, we're only drafting 11 players. Really hard to draft 2 tight ends
For sure.
in this format. But in your normal league, I think that is something you look at. No matter if you took one of the early tight ends, you can still pull the trigger on a Loveland or a Warren if you believe that there is a true break-in, breakout potential.
So the Baker Mayfield did go off the board. You know, we talked about looking at quarterback here. So Brooks took his quarterback. At this point, there are 2 teams other than us that don't have a quarterback. I still think, you know, we like Knicks. We'd be okay with Kyler. We'd be okay with Dak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this a position where you want to take Knicks to combine him with Harvey's pass catching just to get a little bit of like control over your quarterback position?
To me, it just depends on, is there another player at running back or wide receiver that we like? There is for me as well. There's one personal player.
So there's a running back that Mike I know really wants here.
Yeah. I had to off the air message Andy because we keep getting destroyed by these people who are listening to us, and because I was like, I think we got wide receiver was the correct pick of those 3 players, and it was we need a running back to come back to us. Do you see who it is?
I see who it is, and it was. So I did not know that. And that is who I was going to say we have to take him.
Jordan.
Yep.
Okay.
Jordan Mason is the pick. We take him.
You fools. When we didn't say it out loud, you didn't know who to grab.
Yeah, apparently we got to be all sneaky like.
We're trying to help the Foot Clan here.
Jordan Mason, 2 rounds.
Which we did.
Yeah,
2 rounds after Aaron Jones. That's the interesting thing. Like a little more than 2 rounds behind Aaron Jones. Could be a co-starter situation. And this is one of those, Mike on the Tips and Tricks yesterday said, you know, Minnesota is one of those kind of like the starter may or may not be like Aaron Jones is going to come up against the wall at some point.
Aaron Jones is going to be turning 31 very soon. And I know he got the money, but
yeah, it's not a disrespect to Aaron Jones.
A 31-year-old running back breaking down or losing a little bit by game 5 or so while you have Jordan Mason, who on the ground was awesome last year.
I wish he
could
caught
happen.
passes.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
Not a great pass catcher, and right now I would still take Aaron Jones ahead of Jordan Mason personally, because of the pass catching.
Yeah,
I
would too. But
Jordan Mason is going to get a ton of work this year. He will be a weekly startable running back for fantasy football, who is in the situation where should Aaron Jones go down, he becomes a top 10 running back probably.
So we did go Jordan Mason. Scattaboo went next. You see a run of some tight ends going. This is one of the things that, like, we're not sitting here worrying about tight end, obviously, because we got McBride in the 3rd. But Hawkinson, Njoku, and Andrews go in the next run here. Bo Nix off the board and Dak off the board. So those 2 teams that didn't have quarterbacks listening in, making sure we don't have those 2 guys. One player I never bring up, I know there will be people out there that are happy I mentioned him for a moment. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs. We've got an offense that's a top 5 offense. Most of the quarterbacks off the board were the last one to take one. That's our only available stack at the position would be Jared Goff. We have another
stack sitting right in front of us, man.
Who do we have sitting in front of us?
Trey McBride.
Oh, we do have the Kyler McBride.
Murray, Trey
forget
McBride
that,
is there.
dude. I'd rather go Kyler.
Yeah.
We never talk. I mean, that disrespect went right back. Look, we never talked Goff, though. Goff has been one of the most consistent fantasy finishers.
I like Goff, but I think that it's a little more scary this year with all of the change and
now,
the
do we
defense being
take
better.
Kyler, or do we, since everyone's listening, everybody drafting, do we go with another position and force these knuckleheads
to take Kyler
to think about taking Kyler and ruining it for us?
No, I would take Kyler because that's what I would actually do right here. I want to stop for 1 second, though. And so Owl at the 10:05 took Juwan Jennings, who I know he has a calf injury right now. But Juwan Jennings, a world exists where it's not Ricky Pearsall as the wide receiver 1 for the team. A world exists where Jennings is still that guy, which he was the one who had to step up last year with all the absences and injuries, like Ayuk getting hurt and Deboing. So Jennings in the 10th is just such good value. Do you want me to take Kyler, Andy? Are you worried about?
I thought I took him.
I'm gonna. Did we freeze?
Are we frozen here?
Yeah.
It appears.
No, we got him. We're back.
We're back.
Just refresh. We're good.
So I thought I took him.
Yeah, you got him. We got him. We got Kyler.
So Kyler Murray's
McBride
on the team.
Stack. The 3 of us come together. We end up with the Kyler Murray, Trey McBride stack. What
in
will
the
be
10th,
said?
it's a value.
Okay, so Kyler is off the board.
It is. I do love how this team is actually rounding out. I mean, we started top heavy at running back. We've got one of the stud onesies in McBride, deep at wide receiver, and a mobile rushing quarterback in the 10th. I think that's how you build a roster.
So I think it's kind of come together nicely. We are the last ones to get a quarterback. That puts us with Gibbs, Chase Brown, Harvey, and Mason at running back. That feels good.
That feels very good.
Tyreek, Metcalf, Hunter, and Odunze. I think you are looking at, a little bit of risk for all those guys. Right? Look, none of those are like risk-free players. In the UDK, they're going to have some risk. But it's a good group. And then Kyler Murray and McBride as your stack. So, Charbonnet goes next. Keenan Allen off the board. Jalen Blue, Najee, Ford, Kraft. One thing that popped into my head.
Kraft in the 11th is ridiculous.
That's what I was going to say is like we talked about Dobbs being hurt, no Watson, no Jaden Reed. Like Kraft is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries as well.
I love Kraft this
I'll
year.
point out a couple names.
Okay.
You tell me if you like them. You got other options. You can go Chris Godwin, stash him on IR. That would be another name. McLaurin does not have a contract. Deebo Samuel, who continues to catch touchdowns in camp over and over again, he's on the board. Jaden Higgins, another young name, wide receiver on a division-winning team in Houston, on the board. Jaden Reed still out there. If you look at wide receiver.
I like all of those names, and I would say that if we look at our team, we don't need a running back. I really like how our running backs are. Wide receiver, you could say we could take a high upside case, and I think that's what you would swing the bat for is you're looking for a home run here. So that might be Jaden Higgins over a Deebo Samuel,
I agree
over
with that.
Cooper Kupp. The only other player that I
Is it
might
a quarterback?
Yeah.
Is it Jared Goff? Or
No.
is it Justin Fields?
No.
Okay.
Hold on,
where are we
let
going?
me
Keep
guess.
scrolling. You
Let me
gotta
guess.
scroll like
Jordan Love.
It's Drake May.
keep swiping.
It's
keep
probably
swiping.
Drake May.
It's
Isn't
not
it?
Drake May.
Nope, not Drake May.
Oh, my.
Keep swiping.
No, you got to
Hold
do
on,
like
let me swipe.
the two finger and you shove
Tua.
the whole page. Nope, not Tua.
Vincent Testaverde.
No, closer.
Drew Brees.
Anthony Richardson.
There it is.
Hey!
Anthony
No,
Richardson.
God, no.
First try.
No,
So,
no, that's so stupid.
Sure.
No offense.
I would,
No, none taken when you call
I
me
would
so
go
stupid. but-
Justin Fields over Richardson if you're going.
I mean,
So
I would
here's
go
why I
16 other names.
Here's why I wouldn't, and let me just make my case here. I am not saying that all the other, like Anthony Richardson right now, Justin Herbert's on the board, Jared Goff's on the board, Brock Purdy's, those are all better than Anthony Richardson. We've got Kyler.
Even the best
The-
Richardson's worse than those
The
guys.
only reason to take a second quarterback here is for the chance that it's that guy who's
You can't do
a
that.
top 3 quarterback.
You don't believe that.
I do believe
Oh,
that.
no, there is no chance. I mean, the other names on this board, Drake May, infinitely better chance to be that special player. Richardson can't be better than that. Jordan Love, been a top 5. Justin Fields, he's done it before.
Yeah.
Richardson is not the pick.
You're a wild man.
I'm a wild man with my belief in his fantasy
I
ability.
mean, okay.
But
I'm not going to
again,
debate. I'm not going to
this is
debate that.
that's
we're,
just
we're,
a last
we're too
pick.
far away.
That's just a last pick double
Mike,
quarterback.
you make the pick and don't pick that guy.
If we're gonna go quarterback, I would take Fields. Looking at the running back position,
Javante's still there.
yeah,
If you want to hate yourself.
yeah, not in this format. You got to aim higher. Of what I've talked about with Tank Bigsby and the coach. His name is escaping me right now.
Liam Cohen?
The new Cohen system, like where both Bucky and Rashad White caught a whole bunch of passes. I know Tank's not a good pass catcher, but the ball might just be thrown at him a whole bunch, even if he doesn't want it to be. And then at the wide receiver position, it's wild that Jaden Reed might go undrafted in this. Or the Godwin or Brandon Ayuk stash
so
because of IR.
that was like 20 names. Which one are you taking?
I gave you like 5 names.
So which one are you taking?
I would just who are you going to take, Mike?
Let's go with Godwin.
Okay. Yeah, you get an extra player, right? You get to
Stash
you get
him
to
on
throw
the
him on the
IR.
IR,
Yeah.
and then you get another
And
player.
then I'll go to the waiver wire and either pick up Fields or Braylon Allen.
So did you take Chris Godwin?
Oh, you want me to actually do
no,
it?
that's fine. I'll do it. I know how to do that.
You know how
Chris
well, you've always known how to draft them.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
never really been the issue. You've never known how to just
You just don't know how to not draft
look
them.
at them. Like flirting has been a problem for you.
Right.
You just go right
I
up
commit.
and be like,
I'm a quick
can we
commit.
go?
Love at first
Will
sight.
you marry me?
Yeah. So Godwin's the pick. Debo, Shakir, Braylon Allen,
Loveland, Kyle.
Rashad White, Colson Loveland.
That's who we should have taken.
Ray Davis. You think?
Yeah,
Why is that? You're in a Loveland mood? You're in
because
love?
I believe in both Loveland and Tyler Warren and in a 10-teamer at that point.
It's taking everything in me to not spend the rest of the show talking about how bad I think Anthony Richardson is. All right, so our team, we ended up with I think it became a very good team. Like, it wasn't like Chase Brown was somewhere down in the ADP at that point. So it was going to be, I think if we were staring down a running back choice there, I think we would have come to the Chase Brown conclusion if we went running back.
I would agree with that.
Because Mike is all about Chase Brown. You obviously believe in him. He's the highest guy on my board at that point. So we end up with him. Gibbs, Chase Brown, RJ Harvey, Jordan Mason, Tyreek, Metcalf, Hunter, Odunze, and then Godwin. And I feel good about that. Yeah. And then Kyler McBride, getting McBride in the third, a round after Bowers. I feel good about that too.
The onesie stack. I love it.
So there you go. We'll let you take a look at the entire draft board if you're over on YouTube. Check it out. Share all of your tips on how to draft on Sleeper on the YouTube comments, which are crazy, by the way.
Yeah, what are you
Let me
doing?
Just say, I don't know what's going on in the YouTube comments.
But we see you.
I know that when we talked about mowing your lawns while doing the show, that was a big deal.
Yeah,
it was a bigger deal than I knew. So I don't know what else we can mention that you might be doing the moment you're listening to the show. Like, are you putting on pants right now and listening to the show? Congratulations. Mike is not, because of the Travion Henderson news. He's not putting on pants ever again.
Never.
So thank you for all the comments.
Commenters have just been very forward. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been blunt.
Yeah, they've been very blunt.
My guys, tomorrow, the My Guys are revealed. Super excited. Cannot wait to reveal them to you. We had some huge hits last year. Some worked out, some didn't. That is the story of the My Guys. You're taking shots, but I thought they did well. I thought last year they did pretty well. And then big names tomorrow. Next week, we got breakouts, sleepers, busts, and values episodes coming your way. So a lot going on. We've got the UDK for Life live stream coming up, a giveaway. Somebody's going to win a UDK for the rest of their natural life, including a signed Jamar Chase jersey we'll be giving away as well. So we'll be with you on a Monday live stream after the show. And I think that does it. Did you guys feel? How'd you feel about the team? I didn't give you a chance to kind of just like weigh in with your thoughts.
No, I genuinely really like it. I think that we have the upside at each position that you want, and we have the depth that you require. So it worked out really well. I like the Kyler McBride stack, especially for value in the 3rd round and in the 10th round. That's what when you're not forcing the stack and you let both of those picks come to you. I like it a lot.
I felt like it was pretty good for a draft in which everyone can read our minds because we're saying our minds out loud. Mike, did you feel satisfied?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, that'll do it for today's episode. Shout out to the Ducers over there who are also producing the show and drafting at the same time. We appreciate you guys. Back with another episode tomorrow. The My Guys finally revealed. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.